Welcome back, everyone, to episode 7 of Pawns and Patrons. Our heroes are striding away from a hidey spot where they found 120 gold hiding, supporting a very ill-looking Henley. What do the 12 of you do now?
We were on our way to House Dudet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we just continue on our way, 10 gold richer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic. Then, who is leading the party?
Strej.
I assumed it was Strej, yeah.
Yeah.
Strej? Mm-hmm. All right, Strej. Roll luck. Higher is better. Oh, shit.
21.
Damn.
100 gold pieces spawn into his bucket.
I think what this means is that, like...
Do it, Steven. Do it.
Strej sees the pod of crocodiles coming and leads the group the other way. Strej sees the long hump of the great white tadpole swimming through the swamps and leads the party the other way. Strej sees the tantalizing flowers on the surface of the water and knows not to go near. Yes, Strej guards the party from danger on all fronts until sometime in the early afternoon, Strej reaches a clearing in the swamp. Standing in front of you is a magnificent, like, imagine an old Southern manor home, but like take it and tilt it 30 degrees so that the entire right half, as you stand facing it, is like slanted down into the water.
Ooh.
Like on purpose?
Definitely not on purpose.
It
has clearly been sinking. Most of the ground floor is at least in a small layer of water, and then of course that entire right wing, even like the upper floor is sunk under the surface of the water on the right hand side. There are a number of torches along the path that you followed to get here. They are all long extinguished, ancient, rotten, sodden things. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else do you see out here?
The trail, like, do we see if it's just like one person or if it's like many knights type of trail?
This is like an ancient road, actually, that is like tamped down and a little bit firmer. Looking at what's on the trail, you can't really immediately see signs of obvious transit. So like there's no evidence of like a dozen knights riding along here or anything like that. Yeah.
My, what have they done to the grand house Dudet?
Strej, you also see that there is a small freestanding chapel off to the right and back behind the house, sort of a little ways away. There's a beautiful carving statue over the door of the chapel of a deeply frown-faced frog with deep-set, angry-looking eyes.
Is it the Bills?
You know it.
Is the chapel also partly underwater, or is it perfectly preserved?
It looks like it was built on firmer ground. It is still standing upright. It's not cantered over. It doesn't look like it's been sinking. Yeah.
My friends, we must go pay our respect to Bills. Come, as we visit its church.
Is there... Babs is like, is there any like healing from Bills? Because Henley's not looking real good.
Maybe if you make a donation to the great Bubug, he will repay you in blood.
Babs shrugs and follows you to the chapel.
Nice. So are all 12 of you heading to the chapel?
Yes. Dee will keep a lookout. She's a squire in training. She was inspired by someone's display of staying up all night keeping watch. And
Evelyn, I think.
yes, I just couldn't remember the name. And we'll kind of like keep an eye out while everyone's in the chapel, making sure that nothing's coming from the swamp.
Cool. Yeah. So the chapel doors are large wooden doors. They look like they were quite solid oak at one point. They're a little bit soggy and rotten now. The iron banding across them is obviously deeply rusted. Bugbills stares down at the 12 of you from the top of the we call that a lintel, I think, from the lintel above the door.
The lintel.
Strej, you try the door and it's stuck or locked or otherwise barred. There is a keyhole.
I take out my family key. No.
True.
It is locked.
If I have thieves' tools, would that be useful here? Or do I need lockpicking tools?
I mean, thieves' tools they're a set of lockpicks and files and stuff like that. Are you a rogue? Or a thief?
Agnes is a wizard.
Okay. And it's Agnes who has the thieves' tools?
Correct.
You could give it a shot, but it's probably pretty tough.
Would I be able, as Agnes, to kind of fish the thieves' tools out of my pouch and hold them up in the group and say, I don't suppose any of you could make better use of these than I could?
I can try an argument. How about Lurdry the jeweler, who's used to manipulating small things and making nice jewels out of it?
Good argument.
I buy that argument. Lurdry, go ahead and take those thieves' tools. Give me a lock-picking check with a d20 plus your agility.
D20 -1.
Go.
5.
So like you mess around with it, but Lurdry, you're really used to doing this kind of work with a huge magnifying glass up against your eye, not without being able to see what you're doing inside of a rusted lock. So for you, nothing gives way, and you quickly realize that you don't know what you're doing. Fortunately, saving your reddened face. At that moment, someone calls out, "Halt! What are you doing?"
Is it a human? Is it a frog?
When you turn around, there is an ancient and wizened frog standing there with a white powdered wig perched on top of his head. Behind him is a young, strapping frog who stands about 8 feet tall and is shaped like a slice of pizza. And
Hello?
is just like standing there very silent, mouth closed. His neck section pulses out very briefly. He says, "You want I should make him pay, boss?"
Hello!
Yes. Hello. No, Rebruis. No, let's understand what these strange visitors want. You there? What do you want, you strange visitors?
Well, we've been trying to find Strej Dudet, who apparently has been trying to find Augusta Ribet. Would you happen to know where Augusta is?
He looks at you and says, "Who's Strej?"
Well, from the Dudet family, from this house Dudet.
"I don't know any Strej. Augusta hasn't been here in decades. Get off my lawn. And then he turns around and Rebruis says, hey, yeah, get off our lawn.
So, let's say we would get off your lawn. Could you point us toward the right direction?
The old man turns around and says, I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Augustin.
He says, she hasn't been here in years.
But she must be nearby.
Why must she be nearby?
Because,
Makes sense.
what's her face? Felicia told us to come here. What's her name? That's Felicia.
Phyllis.
Is it Phyllis. Yep. Phyllis told us to come here to look for her. Have you also been bribed by the knights, kind sir?
He just looks at you in consternation and says, Phyllis hasn't been here in decades, and I'm not sure what knights you're talking about. But wait, you said Strej Dudet.
Mm-hmm. Of House Dudet.
There's nobody here by that name. Why do you think there's someone here by that name?
Because they've been chasing Augusta Ribet.
He just like looks at you with a super irritated look, and he says, you'd better come inside. It's hard to hear you out here.
Okay.
Yeah, he turns and he walks towards the stately grand front entrance of House Dudet and opens the door and then gestures you.
Yeah.
Is there-
magnificent house, grand house of a mighty family, all the frog.
As we leave the chapel, is there any like holy water or anything like that, like on the way out?
You never made it into the chapel,
Oh,
so there's nothing outside that looks the part.
can Babs peek in and see if there's like a holy water thing right inside the door?
So the key challenge here, of course, was that the door was locked.
Oh,
So while you certainly can peek in and see what there is to see,
I completely misunderstood where we were, so that's fine.
yeah, you
Babs
walked up
will
to the
just follow
front door
inside.
of the chapel, and we're trying to pick the lock to try to get inside. It failed dramatically, cueing the
Yes,
entrance.
gotcha.
Stranger.
We'll
But,
just follow.
Babs, you do take a look in through the stained glass windows, and there, right inside the door, is a small basin, which surely must be holy water.
Babs is just gonna tap Strej on the back as we walk in and say like, don't forget Henley's like dying, so like if they have like some medicine, that'd probably be good.
That's a good idea. Sky.
What do? We sit at the table or something?
So he beckons you into like a grand entrance hall.
Mm-hmm.
There's like an ancient threadbare carpet on the floor. It looks very clearly like it was at one point worth a lot, but it's been walked upon a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
There's a table in the center of this large entrance hall with a fancy Ribot style vase holding a dried bouquet collection. To the right, there's like a broad open entrance towards what looks like some sort of a parlor. Straight ahead, there's a grand double staircase. And sort of like on the right and left, so like on the outside of each of the stairs, there's a set of doors leading back further into the house. At the top of this grand staircase, there is an impressive ancient portrait of like a stern and arrogant looking frog, regal, noble, sitting there, arms crossed. It's like a Rembrandt style portrait.
I need some artwork of a stern and what was the other word you used?
Regal.
There was another one, a stern and unforgiving frog, or arrogant.
Yeah.
Stern and arrogant frog.
Arrogant frog, yeah.
I need
Yeah.
art of a stern.
Clearly looking down his nose at the visitors to the house. To the right, of course, there is a doorway that leads in the direction of what must have at one point been a very nice room. But the entire thing is like, again, you're standing on like at a 30-degree slant. The entire room over there is just the flat black surface of water. The entire thing is sunken into the swamp. He turns around and he says, "We talk here now." And so this man he's ancient. He's filmy-eyed, white-skinned, wart-ridden. He's got a powdered white wig on the top of his head. He says, "What brings you to the great house of Dudeville? You say you're looking for Augusta. She ain't been here in a decade, so I'm not sure I can help you there. You say you're looking for Strej, but that's a name I don't know. Why are you looking for a Dudeville that I don't know?"
Because Strej is being framed by the law.
Who is Strej?
A Dudeville, mind you. And as us frogs, we must protect the Dudevilles. They have a great heritage, like this house, beautiful house. Grandpapa Dudeville, right there. Blessed be his heart. Are you a Dudeville?
Me? No. My name is Naverst Brow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's nice to meet you, but I'd be lying.
Oh.
And who are you?
I kind of want to do a roll to see like if Strej keeps it up or just instinctively replies that he's actually Strej. Because I almost just replied, "I'm Strej today."
Roll if you want to roll for it. Roll luck. That's
God. I don't know why I'm doing this.
This is exactly the kind of place where rolling. Well, no, I guess you roll very poorly.
And then I go, "Well, I'm Strej today. Nice to meet you."
Naverst looks at you and just like blinks, his eyes sort of not at the same time.
And then I go, no, Belen. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not Strej, you're Belen, and you're looking for Strej.
Yes.
Where's Strej from?
Scribbles will chime in and over the top of a piece of paper be like, "Don't you have any family lineages we might be able to peruse? A book of some kind?
The Dudeville line ended 30 years ago. There's been no others."
Are you
That
like,
seems unlikely.
sure about that, man? How can you like ever really know that a line ended? Like, who was the last Dudeville?
Meanwhile, Agnes is starting to suspect that Strej Dudeville is a liar. And she's like, "Ended, you say?"
Yeah, he says the last patriarch was Starum. He passed away some 35 years ago. His wife, the Lady Ulna, she lasted another few years after that, but I buried her just the same. They had no children. I would have known about it. I've been the servant of this house for these last 80 years.
Well, then, like, maybe our quest ends here, but maybe you could point us in the direction of their graves so we can, like, pay our respects since we've been looking for someone we thought was them?
He sniffs. They're both interred in the family crypt.
Point the
I
way,
believe
man.
you're familiar with it.
Excuse me?
Oh, familiar? Oh, is it the church over there? The Bill's church?
Yes, you were so kindly trying to break into it when I found you.
Well, I mean, as a frog, one would pay respects to the great bug.
I'm not trying to break into it. Just trying to get into it.
He nods at that. He says,
I wanted to give a donation to Babug to save our poor friend. Look at him, them, covered in leech scars.
he looks at Henley and says, "Oh yeah, you dead human walking. Listen,
Fiona covers Henley's ears.
he says, listen, I respect those who respect Bobug. I can let you into the chapel. You can make your offerings. You can say a prayer for the Dudays. But, Stretch, though, where's he from?
Stretch, I go, yes.
At that, Sterum, not Sterum, Naverst says, listen, as the servant of the grand home of the Dudays, it has been my solemn duty to guard this lineage until my passing. If there is another Duday, this house, these lands, the income from the position here, all rightfully belongs to that frog. If there were another Duday, I would be very interested in meeting him. I would like very much to shake his hand, to throw him a feast, to welcome him home.
Agnes throws an arm in front of Stretch, who's clearly about to give up the game right here, and goes, how would you identify a Duday?
And he just he pushes up his little spectacles and he says, blood knows blood.
Are you a Duday?
You wanted to see the mausoleum, I believe.
Yes.
Come with me. And then he says, Reb Ruiz, with us. Yes, boss. And then he leads you back out and down around to the mausoleum.
So,
Can
what-
Babs go search the bathroom cupboards?
So you're trying to slip away, Babs?
Yeah, everyone's filing out the door to the chapel. Nobody paid attention to poor Henley. So Babs is just guess I'll do it myself. Starts
I'll go
wandering
look for
around.
medicine.
Yeah.
So it's very clear that Reb Ruiz is he's basically acting as the bouncer, and he's actively watching
last one.
all of you, standing in the back. He's a beefy guy. He's waiting for you all to leave. So there is a little bit of slipping away that you'll have to do if you want to do this, but I'm happy to let you do that.
Yeah, she'll give it a try, and if he sees her, not make a big deal out of it. She's not trying to get in trouble, but just kind of nah, break
And you're
off.
doing this with Agnes.
No, with Babs.
Babs,
Agnes is Rachel?
the brewer.
No, Babs is the brewer.
Yeah. Agnes,
Yeah.
Babs the brewer. Cool.
Yes.
Roll D10 plus your agility.
Agility. Isn't that just an agility check?
An agility check would be D20. So
Oh, so D10 plus agility. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, perfect 10.
hang on. What's your agility modifier? Sorry.
Oh, well, still, it's just 10 then.
It is 0,
My agility
which is 10.
modifier is 0. Still a perfect 10.
So you just sort of slip backwards as people are heading out, start heading in the direction of the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and then a meaty frog hand settles on your shoulder. He says, "Where do you think you're going?
Bathroom.
You can go outside."
Okay.
Yeah, he cordially escorts you out the front door where all of your friends are now gathered in front of the mausoleum. Naverst takes an old iron key ring out and sticks it in the lock. And starts jiggling the key. Ancient things. Someone bumped it out of position. And then just grinds it open. Finally pushes the doors open, and inside is actually a beautiful, stately, well-maintained chapel, clearly well cared for. Everything's dusted and cleaned. There's even a couple of candles lit down at the far end. So rows of pews. There's an altar in the front, a nice red drape over it. At the far end, there's the statue of Bobogu Bill's mouth open, forked tongue hanging out. Yeah.
As they walk by, Babs wants to just kind of dip her hand in the holy water and just at Henley, just in case.
Yeah, awesome. Henley, the sprinkles of water on your forehead feel soothing and cooling.
Nice.
Fiona's sort of like helping Henley walk around too. She's really taken to them. So if there's like a place that Henley can sit, Fiona's going to take them over to it.
Yeah. There's pews to sit on.
I think Stresh has lived a lot of emotions, and being back at his ancestral home is a little bit overwhelming. So I feel like Stresh would throw himself at the feet of Babug.
Yeah.
Tears in his eyes, and start like, I don't know, saying the Babug prayer, the traditional one, and it's like, Babug, I am not worthy. The frog, the frog.
Swamps, bebubbled be thy name.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So
and of course, on each side of Babugbills are two portraits. One of this arrogant and stern-looking frog. Another of like a frog woman in like the prime of her life with fancy velvet gown and pearls around her neck and like gold glasses. And under both of them there are the names Sterum and Ulna. And,
do they look like Strej?
There is a little bit of family resemblance in like the shape of the eyes and the chin specifically. Yeah.
Great.
Do I recognize them as like part of my family? Did I ever meet them, or is it like a longer lineage?
So, I think this is kind of up to you. Like, I think that you're not directly descended from these people. Mm-hmm. And what I had in mind for your actual family's like relationship to this group of folks is like your mom or dad were like cousins of one of these people who chose to be using the same line or the same last name. Especially after the line of the Dutes ended. But like you have a legitimate kind of claim here, especially if nobody else does.
Yeah, but do I have any proof? I don't think I do.
That there might be.
Well, they
required.
said blood knows blood, so they have some sort of test in mind.
Yeah. So I turned back to him. So how would one recognize the Dude? Do you need a blood sacrifice?
Sacrifice? No. What? Listen, if you're not being entirely straight, and you are a Dude, we can find out the answer tonight under the light of the moon by a single thumbprick.
Okay. One can try to avoid the law, but one shouldn't avoid its destiny. And such is the Dude story.
He nods and he says, the very words of House Dude. One can try to avoid the law, but one should never try to avoid one's destiny. And he says, you and your friends can stay at our house. Tonight, we will determine whether your blood is the right color. And if it is, then tomorrow, we will prepare for a feast.
Babs raises her hand.
Yes, you in the back with the keg.
Thanks. Do you have any medicine?
Medicine? I got like bandages. Do you need a bandage?
Well, our friend really could just use some healing.
Oh, the dead one?
They're not dead yet. That's the idea.
Fiona puts her head to Henley's chest and goes, no, it's fine, it's fine.
That's the idea, is like we want to hopefully prevent the dead part.
I tell you what. Let me look at the schematics for the house. Uh, hmm. I've got a nice guest room. It's got a nice bed. I can put your friend in there for the night. Getting a good night's rest should help them try to fight off whatever is doing that to them. It's the best I can offer. The rest of you will have to make do with the smoking parlor or the all of you crowd into the one guest room. The other I just keep it sectioned off most of the time. Out of respect. You understand. And he looks at Strej when he says that. Very well. Come with me. Let me show you to your rooms. And he says that directly to Strej as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I follow.
And he leads you all back inside. And that is where we should end today's episode of Pawns and Patrons.
I hope Henley survives. I like Henley.
So, why don't we each go around the table, let our wonderful audience know where they can find us in case they're not aware, and what, if anything, we're up to that these people might be interested in following along with. Then we'll do a sign off. I'll hand it over to Rachel, and you can hand it off to whoever you like after.
Oh, thank you. I am looking forward to this show coming back next month. In the meantime, you can catch me on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, where we play Red Sky City on the Do Not Peek channel or on my channel at twitch.tv/Seltzer. You can also catch me on social media at Seltzer Please on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at both. We're trying to onboard for life resuming. So we're gonna really try that for a while, and I invite you to join me. But mostly I'll just be hanging out on the internet playing Valheim. That's been my jam lately. It's been super fun. But I'll pass it on to Jen.
You can follow me at SavedPink on Twitter and Twitch. I stream on Tuesday and or Wednesday nights. And lately I've been playing Stardew and StarCraft. I alternate. I'm back at StarCraft. I know. 6 years later.
A live game.
Yep, a live game. And I tag Neal.
Hey guys, you can find me on all things Koibu or Koibu Zero. We will have another episode of Legends of Arcadia Genesis tomorrow morning at the same time this show started. That's set in the early days of the world when I think our players are month 6 of the brand new world where gods are still walking the earth and terrible, terrible things are happening. So come on by for that. And I'll pass it off to Anna.
Thanks. Not tomorrow, Monday at 2. Twitch has asked me to help with celebrating Women's History Month, so my stream will be on the front page of Twitch at 2 p.m. on Monday. So any of you regulars who want to come by and help hang out and chat, show people how to act, that would be great. It's going to be me and Mika Burton talking about found family. So I'm sure that a lot of the people in this particular room will be mentioned. And then Tuesday, Knights of Evening Star will be back on Dungeons and Dragons. And then I'm going on a little vacation. So we'll be actually taking a break from Extra Brains next week and then be back the following week with an episode I've really been looking forward to, where we're going to brainstorm and talk about grief, which I find to be a very interesting and important topic that we don't talk about very much. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you can find me at Anna Prosser anywhere on social media. And I tag Steven.
Thanks. Awesome. That sounds like a great topic for Extra Brains. Super, super exciting. Yes, so thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm Steven. You can find me around the internet at Silent Osiris. The O is 0. And the other thing that I have going on a weekly basis is the Sunfall Cycle, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game based on Dark Souls style game mechanics. So if that sounds interesting, you should definitely check it out every Wednesday at the same time that this show started on twitch.tv/Jesse Cox. And I believe we've gone around the whole table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then with that, we will bid you all farewell and welcome you back in another month's time when we will find out whether or not Strej is a real Dudet after all. That's it for